Hey folks, I'm Dagan. This is my 2004 Gibson SG Custom, and today we're going to be modifying it. Yep, my favourite guitar, my dream guitar, the guitar that I cut pictures out of magazines as a kid and stuck to my wall. I've had this bad lad for 7 years now, just over 7 years, and normally when I get a guitar, I modify it to hell and back because I like to make things myself, but I've never done that with this, for one good reason, and that's because she's perfect in every single way, besides one thing. Which, if I'm honest, I actually modified on this guitar as soon as I got it, because I do this with a lot of guitars because it's one of my favourite modifications to do and it makes life so much easier, and that's add locking tuners. Look at that camera. Yeah. I'm actually going to quickly set up a little workstation to work with my guitar because I want to knacker this already half knackered table with a little D'Addario cleaning kit, a little care maintenance kit. Got a nice little mat for the ass of the guitar, and of course a neck holder to keep everything ship shape up here. So the original tuners I had on this guitar were fine. It's just the original OG Gibson tuners, the Clouson style ones with the nice buttons on the end. But I always wanted Spurzl tuners. I always did, because I thought they looked cool, and I had a friend which had some on a gold top, and I just thought they felt so good and so nice. And actually, I'll do a little POV right now and show you the Spurzls as the stand. Apologies for the dust. I'm going to clean the guitar in this video as well. So I have chipped one of them right now, but if you turn it over, the cool things, like, they feel lovely in your fingers. And they're quite expensive, these Spurzls, but one, I bought them in the wrong colour. They weren't shiny gold like the rest of the guitar. And two, I've just always felt like there's a little bit of give there. Like when you tighten it up or when you go to move it for like the first time, especially when you tune it down, it feels like it's not as taut as it could be, which I don't know if it's just this set of tuners or not, but I've had them on for 7 years now. And I think it's time for a change. Let me just switch SGs real quick. So this is my 2014 Gibson SG Standard. And again, I've got a habit of buying tuning pegs in the wrong colour. I've had this for 11 years, and 11 years ago, ever since the week I bought it, I changed the tuning pegs to these. The D'Addario Auto Trim tuning machine heads. So the locking tuners, but they snip the string off when you tune it up to save any bits hanging off. That's all well and good. But for some reason, that little fun little novelty aside, they've just been my favourite tuners, like, since. They're so smooth, again, let's get another POV on the go. Again, sorry for the dusty headstocks, but yeah, these are the D'Addario ones. Well, technically they're not, these are the Planet Waves ones, because this is before D'Addario and Planet Waves merged and made everything D'Addario. But they're exactly the same, and they're so precise. Like, there's little to no play in them at all compared to the Spurzls on the Custom. These are taut, everything's just great. Ignore this. I explained this in another video, that's where I put a dime and a sixpence on, honouring Dimebag and Brian May, but I realised it made the guitar feel off, so I took them off. But anyways, we're here to talk about the tuners. Yeah, I've loved these tuners. Now, with me fiddling with them, this guitar's horribly out of tune, but I've got these bad lads now. The Auto Trim Tuning Machine Heads 3.3, proper shiny gold finish, set of 6, and I'm going to put them on my Custom. Of course, I'll be putting D'Addario strings back on it, so it's now time for... The cats always know when I'm doing this because it's their favourite game in the entire world. Changing strings when all the strings fly up and have fun, but... So let's get this guy, what's called string winder, out. I'm slacking everything off first, actually. You know what's coming, don't you? You know exactly what's coming. Actually, I'm going to remove this as well, because it's getting in the way, but everyone always asks, why do you stick your this Pixie headstock, and how do you stick the Pixie headstock? It's just doubled over gaffer tape. I watched Slash do it once, and I'm going to do that. Right. There we go. Right, strings are off. I'm going to take a moment to clean everything up as well before I take the tuner pegs off, so she's bringing me the strings back. She plays fetch all the time. Sorry, quick little clean. With the other D'Addario kit I've got. This isn't like a sponsored advert for D'Addario. I'm a D'Addario user and lover, and I guess I'm a D'Addario artist, but I haven't been paid to do this or anything daft like that. It's just the stuff I use and the stuff I like. So, the strings are off. Great opportunity to get and all the little. I like a mucky guitar, but I like a clean mucky guitar. I like a relic look, but not when it's disgusting. And working in a guitar shop, oh boy, I've seen some manky guitars over the years. So just a quick little zhuzh, get rid of all the stinking dust and stuff, the bits you can't usually get to. There's quite a bit of pressure changing strings on camera. I wasn't expecting this to be like, oh God, I hope I do it okay. I hope I don't mess anything up. But we've got this, haven't we? We've got this. So with the D'Addario kit, it comes in all different parts. There's like, this is actually step 3. There's step 1, which is the restorer to get rid of any like cracks, or not cracks, but like swirls and marks in the guitar, like polish. There's the wax, which makes it all shiny, and then the final step, but I don't need that stuff on this guitar. So I'm just gonna skip those steps and give it a little quick wipe down. So now the fingerboard's cleaned, I've got the Hydrate conditioner stuff, which just makes the ebony shine. So squirt a little bit of this guy on. Not great for maple boards, but rosewood and ebony just hydrates it and makes it look lovely and luscious. So apply generously and massage into the wood. Yeah, massage into the wood. It's now time to say goodbye to the Spurzels after 7 years, and I'm not going to use, there's not really anything in the D'Addario maintenance kit for stuff like this, like pliers and stuff, even though I'm going to utilise a part of this pack in a second. I'm going to use this, my other favourite piece of guitar gear, Wera. They make a guitar specific toolkit. They make some fantastic tools, but they're a bit expensive, but I use this every single day. Nigh on every single day. They do, it's everything you need and everything you need to in incredible quality. So time to say goodbye to the Spurzels with this little kit. There we go. Spurzels are gone. I'll actually put a link in the description box down below where you can buy these Spurzels on Reverb or whatever, but look at that naked SG custom headstock. It's actually cracked a bit there. I don't know whether I have the Spurzel in a bit too tight, or I've got no more strings for you, not yet anyways. I don't know whether I have the Spurzel in too tight or what, but if you want to get close up with it, I've also cracked it there by tightening that in too tight, but cool. That's the end of these. Time for, as I drop them, these bad lads. And as you unbox them, you get the lovely tuners, of course, which are all shiny and new, and the little ferrules and the bolts for on top, and of course the screws to the back to keep them all aligned, as well as stuff for the D'Addario Players Circle, where you can win t-shirts and strings and all that good stuff. Right, let's get cracking. I'm actually quickly going to utilize this inside of the D'Addario Care Kit. That's a little magnet where you can stick things to, like little screws, so they don't slide away. And now it's just a case of popping them in, popping a washer on, and then the little bolt. They're nice and low profile as well, which I wasn't expecting them to be as low profile. Not as low as the Spurzels, but very low profile. I'll tighten them all up properly at the end as well. I don't want to over tighten anything now. Let's get them all in as a guide. What is a very welcome surprise is the fact that the little holes that you use to like attach these like securely to the back actually line up with the original Clousson holes that the guitar came with. I mean, there's some tragically ugly holes left from the little studs, which I used to align the Spurzels on the back. With being a white guitar, it just kind of comes with the territory. Doesn't really bother me. I'm not going to sell this guitar anytime soon, ever. But yeah, that's a happy little accident, so I haven't got to drill anything into it. Let's just start screwing. The bottoms look great. Oh, look at that. It fit perfectly in the hole of the Cloussons. Oh, God, no. Look at the state of the stud holes from where these little Spurzels, those little studs were on that guy. What do you think, Olivia? Is it crap? Do you want a Spurzel? No. She just wants to play with some strings, but yeah, that's that. Let's get them tightened up on the top now. Helping? Helping? So the new tuners are in. We're all good and installed. Olivia is dying to play with some strings, so let's get restringing. I'm gonna go for the XS's. Sometimes I do NYXLs, but I'm gonna go XS's. 10 to 52. Slinky top, heavy bottom, essentially. So slinkier on the higher end, 10s, and it thickens up towards the lower end. Because I prefer lighter strings, usually, but live I seem to play really hard, and with the Maestro on this and with Floyd Rose guitars and stuff, I hit so hard it just knocks it out of tune and then goes back into pitch when the string sorts itself out after that big chord. I don't find that with the heavy bottom stuff, so 10 to 52s it is. So the trick with the auto trim tuners is, it's really trying this one-handed with an SG. Pop it in there. The little side that has a like a little nubbin on it, that little silver nubbin, that's where the string goes in. Okay, pull it tight and then tighten up the locking mechanism on the bottom. I knew you should be back for this part. Right, I didn't film last time because I was very distracted by a little feline. So the E string's in, and I wanted the B. Tighten it up so it's not going anywhere. That's the locking mechanism, and I'm really sorry, but you're not going to get a chance to you're not going to get a chance to play in a second, because the way it works is, like I say, you put the string in where the little ball bit is, tighten it up, and like magic, snips it off, just like that. And then repeat for the rest of the strings. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. There we are, we're all in. Everything is tight up. And now for the very satisfying job of tightening the rest of the strings and hearing that very satisfying little snap. So that, ladies and gents, is how we're looking. I think it looks a lot sleeker with the black post as opposed to the satin of the Spurzels. The shiny gold just matches everything just beautifully, and yeah, it's going to hold tune like an absolute bad lad, as good as the OG right there. This is awesome. So let's get it tuned up and see how she sounds. Oh, I forgot to say, I also used the D'Addario lubrication syringe on the nut and the bridge to stop any unwanted friction. Even just tuning up now, it's something, it just feels a lot more, I don't know, deliberate, and I mean, they're only 18:1 ratio, I think. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but 18:1, but they feel like they're placed and solid where they should be, which is what I'm used to with that. And again, not that, I know Spurzels are amazing, but I just didn't feel they were as, like, I don't know, tight and as spot on as the D'Addario ones. And I can't be bothered to plug a big amp in or mic anything up, so I've got my little Misfits Fly 3 by Blackstar, an Amp Turco coily cable. Even looking at the headstock, just seeing the shininess of it, it just makes me feel so much better. Like I say, this is my favourite guitar of all time, and I think I've finally, I was going to say completed it as if it's a game. I've made it so that I'm just super stoked. I don't like playing guitar sitting down. So that, ladies and gents, was a little installation on my new favourite tuners. Well, my new favourite tuners. My favourite tuners on my favourite guitar. I'll put a link in the description box down below so you can grab yourself some. Let us know what your favourite tuners are in the comments. Do you use these? Do you want to upgrade to these? Let us know. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. You'll find me at Dagan Wilkin on all social media platforms. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.